From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, November 2nd. We are going to have a nice little warm-up today. Highs are going to get back in the 50s today for most of the state. This is due to some winds turning out of the south now. Going to be a little gusty, though, sometimes 20 to 25 mile per hour gusts. But again, a little bit warmer.
By far, he's the best coach in college basketball. And he gets the best out of you, you know. He's a hard-working man.
He's a classic bully, I'll tell you. He intimidates the Big Ten office. He tries to intimidate everybody. His entire life is based on intimidation.
And is the free throw not a part of the game? I mean, that may be one of the all-time dumb questions I've ever heard.
A life both wildly successful and deeply polarizing comes to an end. Fans, players, critics, protégés, and more are reacting to the death of longtime IU basketball coach Bob Knight. Knight's family announced his death on social media last night. He was hospitalized with an illness in April and had been in poor health for several years. The community has been showing up to Assembly Hall in droves, paying respects to Coach Knight at the place he earned many of his 902 wins, a record at the time he retired. His family says in a statement, "We are grateful for all the thoughts and prayers and appreciate the continued respect for our privacy as Coach requested a private family gathering, which is being honored. We will continue to celebrate his life and remember him today and forever as a beloved husband, father, coach, and friend." Knight was born in Orrville, Ohio, where he grew up playing basketball. He played at Ohio State, winning a national title with the team in 1960, then enlisted in the Army. That's when Knight's coaching career started, with the Army's Black Knights. After 8 years at West Point, he was named Indiana's head coach for 1971. Knight quickly restored the Hoosiers' basketball tradition with a revolutionary offense and an almost exclusively man-to-man defense. Knight led the team to its first national championship in 23 years with an undefeated season in 1975 and 1976 and won 2 more titles after that. Former player Calbert Chaney says his legacy on the hardwood is unmatched.
He's pretty much done everything there is to do in basketball, and when you've done that, he's truly a legend, and he will always be a legend in Bloomington, Indiana.
Knight's time at Indiana came to a shocking end in 2000, fired by IU President Miles Brand after Knight grabbed a student. Knight didn't return to Assembly Hall again until 20 years later, appearing before a sold-out crowd. Quinn Buckner, another one of Knight's players, was there that night and spoke to the media following the reunion.
To get him here to see what it's like, to see the reaction from the people who love and appreciate not only Indiana basketball, but Coach Bob Knight. We thought that was really important, given just life. Just get him here and let him enjoy it.
Indiana is Bobby Knight to a huge degree. So for him to come back that night and grace us with his presence one last time, it was unbelievable.
Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb says Coach Knight became synonymous with our state. He continued with, his teams were built around student athletes, and his influence prepared them for life after the ball stopped bouncing. There will never be another Coach Knight, and the banners that hang in Assembly Hall will forever remind us of his time. When Indiana builds our Mount Rushmore of basketball, the General will surely be in it. And the official comment from IU comes from Scott Dolson, the Hoosiers athletic director. He calls Knight's death a tremendous loss for the sport, writing, "His impact is even more profound when looking at the enormous success that his former players, coaches, and manager have enjoyed both in the sport and outside of it following their time working alongside Coach Knight." The Indiana Pacers released a statement. It reads, "Coach Knight was truly one of a kind, with a passion for the sport and a personality that was larger than life on and off the court. In the state where basketball is life, he came to personify the game for countless Hoosiers and millions of others across the world." News 8 Sports Director Anthony Calhoun knows the coach's legacy well. AC grew up in southern Indiana and talked to Knight many times on the job.
If you're a reporter, he made you work, just like he made his players work, because you couldn't come with him with some softball questions. You better be prepared and think outside the box. I recall a moment with him that I'll never forget. Indiana was taking on Wisconsin, and the Hoosiers were trailing big time at halftime to the Badgers. But at the end of the game, they end up winning the game, and so we go into the press conference there, and I had my thoughts in mind on what I'm going to ask Coach Knight. So I said to him, he looked at me, I said, "Coach, a question here. You were trailing a lot at halftime, and Wisconsin was controlling this game. What was it that the Badgers were doing to take advantage of you guys early on? And he literally looked at me. He goes, What do you think? They made shots. They made shots. And boy, the rest of the night, man, a local reporter from Indianapolis had this to say, and Coach Knight goes off, and I'll never forget that moment. But he always challenged you as a reporter, so you'd be ready every time you were down in Bloomington.
We do have extensive coverage of Bob Knight's passing on wishtv.com. Just go to the As Seen on wishtv.com section of our website, and there are multiple stories as well as a photo gallery of Bob Knight over the years. Now in Your Vote 2023, the candidates for mayor of Indianapolis talk school zones and fall leaves. The incumbent Democrat Joe Hogsett and his Republican challenger Jefferson Shreve spent Wednesday outlining more of their goals. Both events had a quality of life focus. Hogsett helped unveil new traffic controls in a school zone, promising more in the next 4 years. Shreve seized on a sight of autumn, how the city handles leaves. He wants to launch leaf vacuuming in some neighborhoods to replace bagging. Early voting is happening now. Election Day is Tuesday. Indiana University is preparing for a first-of-its-kind event centering on a superstar. Organizers say they expect 650 people a day, Friday and Saturday, at Taylor Swift The Conference Era. It includes keynote speeches and smaller panels starting at 9 in the morning, both days. Topics will cover the singer's public persona, activism, storytelling, fan base, marketing, and a lot more. The conference is, of course, sold out. And Wish TV is proud to once again partner with Moselle Sanders Foundation to provide thousands of Thanksgiving meals. And we want you to join us. $20 will feed a family of 4. A couple of ways to give. You can grab your phone and text Moselle to 53555 to donate. You can also go to wishtv.com, and we have a link where you can donate. There's also a way that you can volunteer and sign up for that program as well. Same place. And to business headlines. Eli Lilly and Company reports strong sales and business activity. The Indianapolis-based pharmaceutical giant says that Q3 increased by 37%, mostly driven by growth from Mounjaro, Verzenio, and Jardiance, and a one-time sale for the rights of the olanzapine portfolio and COVID-19 antibodies. Take away those one-time sales, Q3 revenue increased by 24%. Most workers will be able to put up to $23,000 into their 401ks and similar work retirement plans in 2024, up $500 from this year. People over the age of 50 can make even bigger contributions to catch up on lost years of savings. For the first time, the IRS made an inflation adjustment under a law enacted last year that will increase the benefits of retirement savings. The Federal Reserve did as expected and left interest rates alone. Inflation gains are easy, but prices of most things are much higher than just a few years ago. But the Fed wants to give the rate hikes that have already happened some time to work. President Biden announces $5 billion in new rural farm funding. $1.7 billion of that will go to promoting climate-smart agriculture, which aims to increase the resilience and productivity of land affected by climate change. Disney will pay Comcast at least $8.6 billion for its stake in Hulu. This will make Disney the sole owner of Hulu. Hulu, which had 48 million subscribers as of July, is known for streaming broadcast shows from Fox and ABC, as well as originals like The Bear and Only Murders in the Building. Spirit Halloween opened a record number of new locations this year, and even though the holiday is over, the chain is at work year-round, securing its retail locations and selling through its website. Costumes and decorations that were not sold and remain in good condition are stored for the next spooky season. So that answers the question of what happens to these stores after Halloween and they disappear. Well, there's still work going on behind the scenes. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com. And like us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.